This is the plaintiff, Andrew Nisavaccia. He says he did lawn maintenance on 4 of the defendant's properties, and the guy refuses to pay him. The defendant told him he didn't like the way he cut his grass, but he let him cut it for 3 months without saying a word until the bills came in. The defendant has abused him, cursed him out, and even grabbed his arm and made him bleed. He's been in business 38 years and is going to get paid for his work one way or the other. That's for darn sure. He's suing for $988.20, the amount he's owed. This is the defendant, William Diederich. He says he informed the plaintiff he wasn't happy with the guy's work. He missed days and said the plaintiff is overcharging him. The out-of-control plaintiff made a scene in the lobby of his office building in front of his clients. The whole situation has progressed beyond hysterical and absurd, and he owes the fool nothing. He's accused of making a guy mad.
Be seated. Come to order, please. Litigants have been sworn, Your Honor.
Thank you, Douglas.
Welcome,
okay, Andrew Nisavaccia, you are suing William Diederich for $988.20 in landscaping and some furniture cleaning that, according to you, he owes you and refuses to pay. Tell me what's going on.
Yes, I've landscaped and I've done work for this person, and it's about 3 months. 2 months he paid me, the 3rd month he refused to pay. I gave him the bills, and he kept telling me, come on back. Call Monday, Tuesday. This went on for 20 days. Finally, I went into his office, and I said, I want to speak to Bill. I want to collect my money. The girl comes running out. She says, no, I'll talk to him. I said, okay, fine. He yelled out, tell him, call him later. So I said to the girl, look, do me a favor. Just tell Bill, have my check or money ready. I'll come back later and get it. And I walked out. 2 minutes later, he comes running out the building, grabs a hold of me, spins me around, and starts screaming and yelling at me about who am I to go in his office and start abusing his girl and screaming and demanding money. So, I've done the work, I want to get paid. Well,
Okay, the work that you're talking about, that he owes you $988.20 is for 1 month?
yes.
Okay.
And I have the breakdown.
When was the last time, according to you, that he paid you?
May, and that was for April and May. So all he owed me was for June on 4 properties.
And you received payment from him for the last time on what day? In May?
May, right. The way he usually does it is he makes a check out and post dates it a month ahead of time. So it's like it's no good anyway. It's like 60 days late because...
But why do you accept that?
Because I figured I'd give him a break. I knew things were rough, and I figured I'd work with the man.
Okay, I'm trying to understand. It's, I guess, almost $700 of this is landscaping for 4 properties?
Correct. The breakdown is here, okay? 4 properties. One's his mother's house, one's his ex-wife's house, one's the apartment house where he lives, and one's his office. Okay, the breakdown is $85 for his ex-wife because that's a larger property. It was $40 for his mother. His office was $50 every 2 weeks, $100 a month. And his residence, his apartment, is $40 a week. When you add all this here up, and here's all the bills.
Can I see them?
Okay, let me give you all my bills that I have.
Yeah. While he's doing that, what's going on?
Good morning, Your Honor. The information that he's giving you is incorrect. He indicates that the last time I paid him was in May. I have a canceled check from one of my corporate accounts that he cashed in July. It is tied directly to an invoice.
No, stay where you are.
That he gave
Hand it
me
to my
in
bill.
June of 2013. I'm sorry, Your
Okay,
Honor.
let me see it.
And it was not post-dated. He stopped by the office. I gave him a check.
On what date did you say you give him a check?
I think it was 7/13, and I wrote void until 7/16 on the check because I was making a transfer into that operating account. But that is directly tied to the June invoice, which is the exact amount that he's suing me for.
You cashed a $450 check from him in July.
If I don't have a copy of mine, then I didn't get no check.
Take a look at the signature and the account number and the check and tell me what's what here.
As you can see, this has changed. He's got, and he has void on it. You see it at the top? He wrote it on there.
No,
Not me.
sweetheart. Please look at the check. The back of the check purports to have your signature and your account number on it and the stamp from the bank that it got deposited into an account on July 18th. So slow your roll and look carefully at what I handed you and tell me if that changes your testimony and if you indeed received $450 from him. And is that your account number?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so $450 in July you received.
According to this, yes.
Do you have your bank records with you?
I thought I gave them to you on the...
No, your bank records.
No, I don't.
Okay. All right, so what's the problem?
Well, Your Honor, his rendition of what occurred when he arrived at my office is complete fabrication. He entered my office building, which is set up with adjoining suites and offices, stood in the lobby, and was yelling at the top of his lungs. I brought with me today a witness who works for my company that can corroborate that. When I left the building to confront him and tell him that that was inappropriate, I never laid a hand on him, didn't touch him, didn't spin him around. Another fabrication, okay? I'm a businessman. I've owned that building for 25 years. I would never assault anyone. I'm not a violent person.
The fact that you're a businessman doesn't mean you wouldn't grab somebody by the arm.
Well, but I'm just telling you that's...
By the way, you ran straight to the police to file an assault charge, right?
Correct. I got pictures of it.
Let me see your pictures.
If I may.
Go ahead.
Please.
I provided an affidavit, and Ms. Teju Adera is here to address.
What's your position at the firm?
I work at the reception desk.
Okay. Did you see do you remember the day when he came in?
Yeah, I do.
Tell me about it.
He walked in, and there's like a
Okay,
waiting
it's a picture
room.
of hold on 1 second. It's just a picture of your arm. Where are the injuries? No injuries?
You can see it's swollen. You can see the bruise. Now, I'm a diabetic, okay? And you can see how swollen the arm is. You can see the bruises on there.
I cannot see how swollen the arm
He's
is.
a landscaper.
I cannot see the bruises. I can see aged bruises right there, if that's what you're talking about. I don't know.
Yeah, those are bruises.
When were these pictures taken and where?
That day. August 1st, that exact same day.
Go ahead.
Okay, he came in, and instead of waiting in the waiting room, he like barged in, and he was yelling in the hallway area.
Saying what?
Like cursing, like he's not coming back for his check, and just screaming, yelling that this is ridiculous, and
Right.
and then he walked out still cursing, saying that this is just insane, that he has to keep coming back for his check. And so Bill followed him outside, and they're both yelling at each other.
How could you see outside?
I was being nosy. I was watching from the desk area.
Were you watching the whole time?
Yeah, I was.
Did he put a hand on him?
No, they were just yelling back and forth. Like, he would talk, and then Bill would talk, and then, like, going back and forth, and then he stormed off.
What were they saying?
I don't know.
Okay. Oh, you're not that nosy.
Yeah.
Get closer.
Thick glass on the door.
Why did you say in the complaint, after the confrontation at the defendant's office, I filed a criminal case for assault against the defendant. I wanted to get anything I could on the defendant since he treated me so badly. What do you mean by that? Because I don't want to think that you're the kind of guy. I was a prosecutor for 10 years, okay, and a criminal judge for another 10. I don't want to think that you're the kind of guy who abuses our system so you can collect a couple of bucks.
No.
Because the system's really busy with real stuff.
Of course.
So I don't want to think that you're just trying to get leverage and making that part up.
No, not at all.
Okay, so what did you mean by the sentence, I wanted to get anything I could on the defendant since he treated me so badly?
Welcome back to the People's Court. Harvey Levin here. So, you have a landscaper and he does a lousy job. Do you have a right to stiff him, or do you have a duty to let him come back and try to fix it?
Let him come back and fix it. Think about it. If I was the gardener, give me an opportunity to come back and do.
Fair point, but you didn't do the job right the first time, and that's what I hired you to do.
Yeah, but I should still let you come back and fix it.
Maybe it would be a nice thing, but do I have to let you come back and fix it?
No, I'll pay somebody else to do it.
So you could stiff the guy?
Yeah, stiff the guy. Say, no pay for you, get somebody else better.
You are a cold-hearted dude.
Gotta be something.
Kind of like that, going inside the courtroom.
First of all, there's a map on the last page of the package he gave you, and it shows the footage of where we were and where she was, okay? From her desk out to the front sidewalk is about 20, 25 feet. There's no way she could have seen it or looked out the window, because
That's your testimony? Their testimony's very different. Okay.
And when I was so emotional and excited at that point, I couldn't even function because I was all sweaty, soaking wet from him grabbing me. So I went to the police and I filed the report under bad conditions. And half the stuff that I wrote, I thought was correct from what has happened at that point.
Did you get charged with a criminal offense?
I did, and actually that's being heard this evening in North Caldwell.
You're kidding me.
And Teju will be there to provide the identical testimony that she's providing now.
Well, you're getting a little practice today.
Quite a day.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the landscaping. In terms of the actual bill, there's 4 properties. How much are you charging there, and how many times a week do you go?
Or Was $85, I think it was. There's two. There's 31 and 56.
Right. What's the other one?
And average $40 a week.
And how many times a month do you go?
Once a week.
Once a week, also.
Right. Okay. The 107 is his office. That's $50 every 2 weeks, plus tax.
And what about the other one?
$40 a week for his mother.
And that's every week?
Yes.
Okay.
And taxes also on them.
Okay, now there's numerous notations in your evidence where you were asking for $688.
Right.
And then that became $988.
Right.
Why the difference?
Because when I first made the report out, I don't know where the $688 came from, but when you add up the bills, it's $988. So it just could have been an error. And it was corrected.
But where did you agreed to pay him $175 to clean furniture?
Actually, no, Your Honor. That was a surprise to me. I had given him 4 pieces of property, and I asked him, could you do me a favor on one of the days when it's raining and your guys are not in the field? Could you have one of your guys power wash some lawn furniture for a home I own on Long Island? They came over, they did it. They were there for maybe 45 minutes.
Okay.
And he stood there.
But what were you supposed to pay him for that?
We didn't
well,
have
that's what kind of happens when you're loosey-goosey.
No, it wasn't loosey-goosey. I assumed that he would charge me a fair price.
Yeah, but see, what you think is, he thinks 175 is fair, do you?
For 45, no.
Oh, okay, so apparently the judge is right. You should have an agreement beforehand,
Your
right?
Honor, I'm happy to pay him the $175 for the 45 minutes he stood there and watched someone else power wash the furniture in the rain.
Well, apparently, though, you're not, because what was how did you come up with $450 that you paid him in July?
Because I had received complaints from my ex-wife.
Okay, so let's get to that now. You are unhappy with the job that he did.
Not only am I, listen, I would go to my mom's house. It's on the historical register. Weeds in the driveway, the trim on the curbing not weed whacked. Horrific. My mother's fastidious about it. And I had, I love my mom, but I don't need her yelling at me every week over landscaping. She's 79 years old and she's a tough bird. Okay? And then
I know your pain.
And then, of course, my ex-wife, who I love, and we are very good friends, I agreed to maintain her home. There were instant cases where he would go there, and the property's on over 2 acres. It abuts a brook. They wouldn't mow the lower property. There was things on that property that were broken.
But why didn't you fire him sooner then if all that was
I did.
good?
I fired him. I fired him right when I gave him that $450. I said, that's it. We're done. We're done. I said, please do not come back. And
the $450, what you deducted from it was based on them not showing up to work or not doing the work
numerous
completely.
occasions of not doing what they were supposed to be doing. Listen,
How did you calculate $450 off of what? What did you think? Well, whatever he had billed you at that point.
Well, my mother had indicated that there are no less than 6 occasions he did not show up.
Do you have an affidavit from your mother?
I do.
When she says not show up, does she mean on the day that they were supposed to?
Not show up that week at all.
Did anybody ever call them and say, why didn't you show up this week?
I had a couple of interfaces with Mr. Nizovach regarding that particular issue, and I got basically, oh, no, we'll get there, we'll get there.
We'll get there, or we got there, she's wrong?
No, we'll get there. She's on the list. That's my mom's affidavit, Your Honor.
On at least half a dozen occasions, he or his crew failed to show up to perform the lawn and property maintenance. He also routinely did not trim the gardens and clean the driveway like they were supposed to. I asked my son to terminate their services.
Your Honor?
Did you ever receive complaints from them?
Never.
Well, according to him, he fired you. He said, that's it.
38 years in business, okay? And I asked him many times, no, everything's fine. Bill, what did you want done? Well, a couple times he says, below their property line, which is like down a brook and it's a hill, can you weed whack it? Well, it's on the hill. How am I going to get down and do it? Do the best you could. Whatever I can do, I've done for him. But, I'm not there as his serviceman to do everything he wants done. I mean, I did the property. The property was maintained. It was in great shape. All of us. Never had a question, never had a problem. 2 months you paid me, no problem. The 3rd month, you just refused to pay.
Was 2 months the only time you ever worked for him?
That's it, just 3 months.
All right, so using your math about how much you're supposed to be paid for each place, it's 4 times 85, 4 times 40, 4 times 40, plus 100 for the business. Plus tax.
It comes out to $988.20.
Okay, so on this $988.20, that is your account that money went into. How do you forget that the guy paid you $450? You're so angry about this, and it's obviously consuming you. You have a kind of a bad temper, which I have too, so I kind of know when you're angry at somebody, like, this kind of thing shouldn't go by you. How does it?
Right. I don't know how it did.
But in any event, even your notations say that he gave it.
Yeah, that's what I do. I put it on there.
Stop and listen. Your notations say that he gave it to you on 6/19. Your $988.20 bill is from May and June.
Right.
So that was for some prior thing. Your notations didn't even say that. So, all right, guys. According to you, $988 is due. $450 I know was paid. So that leaves $538.20. There are complaints about your services, and I believe that I don't know if the complaints are legitimate. I believe that there are complaints. I have an affidavit from one of the landowners saying he's not showing up. I have him saying I can't hear my mother complaining anymore. That's why I fired him. It was a problem. And I believe that you were fired from the job. What I don't have is evidence of them being there and not doing a good job when they are there. I am going to discount the amount that is owed, but you do owe him money. And
that's perfectly fair, Your Honor.
Based on what I have heard, my verdict is in favor of the plaintiff in this case in the amount of $350. Pay the man. That's my verdict.
Sounds good. Thank you, Your Honor.
Let's get some reaction from the defendant here coming out. Are you satisfied how this verdict is in?
Absolutely. Totally fair.
Mm-hmm. Why didn't you fire him sooner if he was doing such a lousy job?
You want to give every individual an opportunity to do their job and perform the tasks that you assign for them. And it just got to the point where I couldn't deal with the static that I was getting on the other end. So it was.
So how do you think your mom's going to feel about things now?
Well, she has a great landscaper now, so and the house looks great. So I think.
So is she giving you? Is your life a little better now with her?
It's never not been better. It's just don't wanting to upset an 80-year-old.
She going to be happy with you?
I think so.
All right.
Thank
Head
you.
right down this way.
All right, very well. Have a good day.
All right, sir. So come on in here. What do you think of this? You didn't get everything you sued for.
No. I think it's a shame for me doing all the work and as hard as I am being on the job.
If you were such a great landscaper, why did he fire you?
I don't know. I have no idea.
This comes out of the clear blue sky.
I think he's having money problems and he just don't want to pay his money. So he figured, well, take it out on me. Okay, and I'm not his servant.
All right, Harvey.
Real simple solution to this whole thing. Both sides should keep a ledger on what's owed and what's paid, and you make an entry in the ledger each time money changes hands. That will do it for this case. Litigants for the next case on the way into the courtroom right now.